Hi everybody, welcome back to another video. Different format, it has its reasons, but if you know what day it is, yay! B&O is finally releasing its probably one of its worst kept secrets. The Beolab 28s have launched. If you're on the forums you probably already know a great deal about it, but let's get into it. First off, good news. At least here in this country, in the Netherlands, dealers are open again, and you can go shop at your dealer again. So go and support your dealer, be a good B&O customer, and at least say hi. And go look at these wonderful speakers. Seriously, bloody great. Let's get into it. Basically, what happened was I went to my dealer and we did more or less of an unboxing. Normally the video would have been a bit different. It has its reasons. I'll get into that a little bit later. But yeah, let's get to it. So first off, in the first box you find the bottom, the cone, if you will. This cone houses a 6.5-inch bass driver, and these leads actually do not go to the wall, they go up. There is something that'll attach to the back, which they call the spine, if I'm not mistaken. And so this is how you start by building and setting up your speaker. You unbox basically what is the bass part, the subwoofer, and then you have a good look at it because it is very shiny. It's actually really nice. And yeah, then you get to the you get to the second box, and this is the spine. So this is actually, there we go. So this is actually the spine, this part. This bottom bit is sort of polymer plastic, and that is the cover. So this bit attaches to the base at the bottom, and the top tube, if you will, sits on there. It's actually really sturdy, and I'm pretty sure if it's all connected you could pick up the speaker by the top. I wouldn't recommend it, but that's how solid it actually feels. And then we get to sort of the floating top, the pièce de résistance. I can't speak French. Never mind. Don't try. So this is the top. It comes with the covers on. This is the light grey. But my god, look at that aluminium work. It's utterly amazing. I mean, the shine is silly good. And the camera really doesn't do it justice. In real life, it's actually even nicer. So I would go to your dealer and actually have a look at it. So this is then the spine, which sits on top. This is the tube that sits on top of the spine, and you attach it with both bottom and top. You attach with not exactly screws, more like small bolts. And then once you have it all put together, it looks something like this. Sorry for the quick motion. And the aluminium work is gorgeous. So actually, let's go back a little bit. So there is a driver right here, 3-inch driver. Then you have a 1-inch tweeter right here. Then you have another 3-inch driver facing forward. And then you have another 3-inch driver facing the opposite side of the top one. Quite interesting, but it has its function, and it sounds really good. So yeah, there's the back cover. These are the heatsinks. This is where basically all the amps and magic happens. And then this is where we found that a cable that was coming out of the base. It comes up through the back of the spine into here and clips into its spot here. And as you can see, quite gorgeous. And I don't know how well you can see this, but there's a USB. This is the bass driver sort of icon. Then you have a power link, a DPL, and you have a line in. And all the way in the back there, behind this, behind the big sort of plug, is a little switch for if you want to turn the microphone off. As far as I understand it, it's not like there's Google Home in it. It's just the mic for auto tuning. So let's say you have some rambunctious kids, or you don't accidentally want to retune the speakers because you like them the way they are. You can't because the mic is off. So basically it's you do it once, and if you want to be absolutely certain they are as they are and they will remain as they are, just flip the switch and you're good to go. And it's really rather tight there. So if you have a lot of cables, the thin PowerLink cables will suit you best because it's tight. But all in all, it's really, really nice. Then we have the wooden cover right here. And I laid it on top of the front cover. The oak, this oak is actually not the normal oak. This is what's called light oak. It's a lot lighter than the normal oak, but then again, it's nice. For me, I have the normal oak of everything else B&O, so these wouldn't match with mine, although the color difference isn't hugely lighter. It's enough to notice if you have a lot of it. But all in all, really, really nice quality fabric, and the oak is, as you expect from B&O, it's basically terrific. And then we have this with a 77 Harmony on a rotating floor stand. So the left is how it's halfway done, and the right is fully done in wide mode. And yeah, that's our Prime Minister. Let's show that again. So this is fully connected. As you can see, it has power link, Ethernet, and what you call it, the DPL port to connect it to the other one. It's really full. It was really quite a challenge. These are actually normal sized Ethernet cables, if not a bit thicker. I think that's kind of like where if you want everything attached, these speakers would do well with the thinner PowerLink cables or the PowerLink to Ethernet adapters. But other than that, you can stuff just about all the cables you need in here. They also do obviously WiSA, and you can stream to them. Excuse me. That's actually the big news with these Beolab 28s, is that these speakers basically come with a sort of core built in, if you will. So when attached to a Beovision or a Beovision Harmony or Avant or Eclipse or any of that sort, they go into Beolab mode, so to say. This is when the signal comes in either over WiSA or over PowerLink, meaning they go into sort of like normal speaker mode, like those. However, if that signal is not coming in, you can Bluetooth stream to them, you can use them as Chromecast devices and or as AirPlay devices. And then in the app you get the option of whether you want them to be on their own in a pair, if which one is the master and the secondary, excuse me, and how you want them to respond to the incoming signal. As in, you can set them to wide or to narrow, and the sound actually is quite different between the two sort of presets of that. It's kind of funny, when we were setting this up, one was ready and the other one was resetting. And my dealer Ter Horst, he was in the back, I think, getting something from storage, and there is an automatic voice that plays once they're ready for use, and it goes left speaker, right speaker, in phase, out of phase. But the in phase is like the voice of God coming from above. It's really bizarre. To sort of like, I didn't expect it at all, because like these don't do that, and I hadn't experienced that with other speakers, and I was like, whoa, what's that? Yeah, I mean, like, as you can see, they look very much in place with the harmony like this. I mean, they're actually really, really stunning, and the shine on them, it's almost shinier than a Beolab 18, which is quite saying something. As you can see, we just changed them to narrow, and the operation on the how the lamellas open and close is so quiet. They actually make less sound than like the wings in the top of Beolab 50s. And as you can see with the single light up top here, that kind of means they're in Beolab mode, because they get, in this case, fed through PowerLink. And the operation is so smooth. It makes for such a, to me, such a pleasant speaker to look at. In the pictures, if you're on the forums that you saw, they look quite thick, quite sturdy. They are sturdy, but they're actually quite slim and elegant. I would say that when you look at Beolab 18s, the Beolab 18s look bigger. Obviously, they come down in that magnificent organ shape, as in wind organ. So they look thinner in the bottom, but like the wooden lamellas and whatnot give it quite a bit of width. And it's also the function of smaller drivers. So, like I said, it has a 100-watt tweeter, 1-inch tweeter. Then it has 3-inch drivers, left, right, and front. And a 225-watt, if I'm not mistaken, 6.5-inch driver down below. And it's good. It's like... It's kind of hard to describe in compared to how they all sort of fit together, because they're not Beolab 50s for sure, but they do most of what the 50s do, as in they have active room compensation, where like you press the button and it goes whoop, and it tunes it. This is basically what every B&O product does nowadays, which is terrific because it makes a heck of a lot of difference to how you perceive the sound. In terms of stereo imaging, they're fabulous. I mean, they're, like I said, they're not 50s, but they're more than half of the way there. They're definitely more than 18s and a Beolab 19. Which is quite a feat, because they take up less room. And I really want to say, go and visit your dealer, check if your dealer has them, because they're worthwhile listening to it. In terms of pricing, I think they're pretty much spot on. As far as I understand it, they go from 10 grand euro to 12.5 grand fully dressed up. They will come in like the normal aluminium, as you saw. They will also come in the bronze. Sorry, I always get that confused with brass. And they will also come in anthracite. And anthracite is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I can't show you them at the moment because I don't have proper pictures of them. And but I've seen them. They're gorgeous. They're beautiful. Then in terms of fabric, as you saw probably in the AR app and whatnot, worst kept secret, they come in the light gray we saw here. They come in a darker gray. These are inside colors, I mean, and a taupe. The taupe for me is sort of like, no, but if it fits in your interior, go for it. Then in terms of exterior, you have the sort of black color, wood slats. You have the light oak, the smoked oak, the normal oak. You have walnut, for all you walnut lovers out there. And you'll have a black fabric, or a fabric for opening and shutting. In terms of, is it too early to say? If you want to customize it, I looked at the fabric covers. And if you wanted to, if you're into this sort of thing and you want to, I don't know, make them white, let's say, it's not an impossible task. If you have an upholsterer, he can probably do it. And the frets almost seem made for it. So if you're into that sort of thing, have a look. It's a proper bit of kit. This is kind of where you get to the point why this video is the way it is. Normally, I would have finished with some like sound picture or videos of sound and a sort of introduction. But as luck would have it, I grabbed my tripod and apparently my camera wasn't clipped in properly and it fell off and it obviously fell on the lens. So yeah, this is what I got and this is where we are. I need a new camera, so please like and subscribe to the video. Like the video and subscribe. If you want to become a member and help me get a new video camera, thank you in advance. Yeah, that would be really helpful because that was quite an expensive oopsie. Back to the speakers. These are bang on where they're supposed to be, in my opinion. And as a potential B&O buyer, they're going to put you in an area where you think, do I get 4 of these if you're into movies more, or do I get 50s? And this is where it comes down to like what you prefer once more. Personally, I watch more movies like you like, and 50s are for sure better for purely music. However, this is a real a price to performance bargain almost for what they can do. I mean, like I said, you don't even have to have a B&O TV. They still have line-in, they still do all the Beolab things, but they do basically the Beolab Plus. You can stream to them. It has the B&O radio built in. You can like attach your remotes to them and control them independently, separately from a TV or anything else. They're a pure bit of B&O magic. The movement is elegant. It's smooth. It's quiet. I was expecting good things, but they surpassed my expectation with what I kind of knew was going to happen. But even so, they still managed to outdo it. The sound is more than 50% there of the 50s. You get the same sort of... It's almost a bit more like 90s, but don't. I'm not saying they are 90s. And it's more so because they don't have like a lens like 50s do. But in terms of stereo imaging, you still get that where if you... Like we didn't set it up super precisely. We just set it where it looked good and sort of did it quickly because it was late in the day. And with a quick room compensation, the center imaging was basically perfect. It was to the point where if you turned off the center channel, you couldn't really hear it wasn't playing, other than you were lacking a bit of power, which would normally be there. But if you up if you compensate for that, you can't really hear it, which is amazing. Obviously, the difference is more so that as soon as you walk closer to the TV, you heard it quicker than you will with the 50s. With the 50s, you can be sort of like, I don't know, 40 centimeters away from your TV, and you can still not hear the center channel is not playing. With the Beolab 28s, it's more sort of like, a meter and a half, 2 meters away. But then again, if you take the price difference into consideration, that's magic. And most people want a center channel anyway, so all in all, they're absolutely fabulous. I bloody love them. This puts me into a bind because you all know I love 90s, but I kind of want these more, especially in combination with what I have here. Also because I more so am a movie / surround sound user. I mean, went a bit nuts, as you can see, but yeah, the sound is fantastic. The bass is so capable. Compared to Beolab 20s, like the Penguin guys, I like these so much more. With Beolab 20s, it's like there's a lot of highs and a lot of bass, and to me, not a lot in the middle. It changes a bit on how you set them up in your room and what kind of room. Like, your room acoustics can either help or be a detriment with those speakers. But with Beolab 28s like these, there's a powerful tweeter, there's a powerful mid-range, and the bass is deep yet precise. You felt it rumble. Like, it's not like Beolab 2 rumble because the driver is not that big, but it was in no way lacking. It's kind of amazing for how petite it is, almost. Like, if you go to the store and you see them for the first time, you probably think, like, I expected them to be bigger. And then you turn them on and the soundstage is as it is, and it's like, my God, how does this come from this package? Like, I'm not joking. I was seriously surprised. And yeah, the design, it's up to you. I personally like them. I've heard many people that said, "Yeah, I really like them." But go see them in real life, because for some or other reason, B&O products never really come out as well in pictures, or maybe it's them, but they never really come out as well in pictures as they are in real life. They're bloody fabulous. They are better than I expected, and if you get these, I'm sure you'll be happy. They're versatile. They sound great, both wide and narrow mode. Oh yeah, I've nearly forgot to mention that. They do both wide and narrow, like 50s and or like 90s. The narrow is maybe not like a sonar beam, like more or less a 90 or 50 is, but it's close enough where it's like, it's really enjoyable to listen to. The wide is basically party mode and sounds basically epic, because wide is really wide. And with narrow, you really do have that narrow sort of field of music where if you get out of it, all of a sudden the whole system sounds different. But that's kind of what you want, because you want to be in the sweet spot and you want it to sound exquisite. And you have options. It can do basically whatever you want. And from what I've heard, every dealer from Bang & Olufsen gets asked, does it have Bluetooth? Can I stream to it? Well, now you can. So go and have a look. B&O, you outdid yourself. You seem to be on a bit of a roll, and stuff sounds great, especially in the last few years. Everything sounds great, and everything sounds better than it's kind of supposed to. I don't know how you keep on doing this. Well done. Thumbs up from me. There will be more to come. I just need a new camera. Thank you, everybody. Hope you can like and subscribe, and if you want to become a member, many thanks, and I salute you, and see you all in the next one.